Hey everybody, welcome to my second Capoeira lockdown video for Capoeira in small spaces. So thank you for all watching this video. Today I'm going to do a little video for my students focusing on a technical move, and this is a move that's really good to practice at home because it's something you can do in a small space, and it's quite a technical move that does take a little while to train and build up to it. So I'm focusing today on a move that I know a lot of my students need to work on and find tricky to get into. We're going to be training resistencia. Okay, resistencia is a difficult move if you're a beginner, and it is something that you need to build up to. So we'll be going step by step through a series of movements so that by the end of it you'll have the ability to do the move in full. Okay, now for those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about, I'll just demonstrate the resistencia. So from here, imagine you're being attacked from the front. There's no way you can escape to the side. The only way to go is backwards. So from here, we're going to push our knees forwards, come back to the ground, and then back up. You can do the move slowly and in controlled fashion, but sometimes you have to do it fast. Down and back up. Okay? So, we'll build up to that move. We're not going to start there. We're going to do it in step-by-step pieces. First, before we start, do make sure you're warmed up. I want you to move your neck in as many different directions as you can. Warm up your shoulders. Make sure you stretch that out as well. And the hips. Yeah. So bend the back, bend to the side, and rotations. Yeah. Make sure you've got full mobility. I'm not going to do all that there, but please do that before you start the move so that you've prepared your body. Okay? Good. Now we're going to start with the very base of the move. Base of the move is all in the lower half of the body. So from here, take a stable stance with your feet shoulder width apart, and all you're going to do is bend your knees. And as you bend your knees, try and push them forwards. So you're pushing them forwards, and you feel your upper body kind of leans back. Now actually I want to keep my shoulders broadly in line with my heels so I don't get too unbalanced and fall backwards, and I'm making my thighs do all the work. Once you get past a certain point, you have to lift your heels off the floor to give you that balance and support, and you can see that's exactly what I've done here. So this is the base move, and practice it a few times and make sure you've got the balance. Once you've got that, the next step is to make sure you can go low and drop in support on the hand. So we're going to go low, down, and then put the hand behind us and drop in support. Bring your other hand across to protect your face and your body. So on the other side I go down, drop my hand behind and stand up. Now it's important you don't land heavily on your hand. If there's an impact, if there's a noise, then that's bad, okay? You can hurt your wrist, you can get in all kinds of trouble, you can hurt your shoulder. So we want to make sure we're using our thighs to control the descent far enough that when we put our hand down, it's just a placement and there's no pressure on it. Placing down, coming back up. Now if you're struggling and your thighs aren't quite up to that yet, you can use a prop. I'm just going to use a step here, and I'm going to place it behind me, just exactly where I want to put my hands. So from here, I push forwards with my knees, and I bring my hand back on the step. It's a little bit higher up, so I can get used to the movement and used to the technique without needing to put as much tension on my legs and without the danger of hurting my wrist. Now let's assume you've got that bit nailed down. The next bit is to try and bring your shoulders to the floor. So you can start by just going a little bit lower with your hand placement, reaching behind you and bringing your body nice and low. And you can get pretty low to the ground just by doing that and repeating. But at some point we need to make the transition to putting our hands over our shoulders. There's a whole variety of ways of doing that. the way I like to do it is just get used to falling first, because for many people the fall is the bit they're uncomfortable with. Again, we can use props. Here's a pillow, and we can use that to cushion our landing. If you're still worried with just a pillow there, go and do it on your bed. Find a soft surface, something you know you're not going to hurt yourself with, and go back. So I'm going to put it behind me and then come back into the resistance. I'm aiming to land on my shoulders here, yeah? Not my neck, not the back of my head. To protect the back of my head, I need to tuck my chin in and protect. So to demonstrate, we're going to go down low, here, lean back, bring the shoulders down, and just sag without the hands at all onto the floor. And push back up. Okay. So here again, knees forwards, come back, and drop onto your soft area. Now once you're comfortable with that, you can do without the pillow. So I'm going to put it one side, and again, as long as you tuck your chin in and you land on your shoulders, it should be perfectly safe. So I'm going to push down, come back, and I can land softly on my shoulders. No big impact. Okay, one more time, knees come forwards, shoulders come back. Now from here, a lot of people ask me, how do you get out of resistance? Okay, so there's two ways. From here, put your arms over your shoulders like you're going to the ponche, and you push with those arms and push your knees forwards, and try and get your knees over your feet, and then you're basically doing a sit-up with your abs, yeah? You're just doing a sit-up. But the trick is to get your knees as far forwards as possible. You're reversing the move that you do on the way down. So one more time, down. From here, I'm going to push and stand up. So my knees go forward, and then I sit up. The other way, if your abs aren't quite up to that, is to go around the side, which is an easier movement, but presents a different challenge. So I go down into my resistencia, and from here, I'm going to try and turn my body to the side. So I need to, again, put my hands on the floor to give me a little bit of impetus to get off the floor, and then I'm going to turn. Once I've turned halfway, I bring my opposite leg across, and I turn and stand. So you're finishing essentially with a hollow. One more time, you go to the ground. This time I'm going to go the other direction. I push off the floor, I turn, and I stand. Okay? Two ways you can get up out of the resistencia. Now we're going to add the final combination, which is the hands. So I'm going to try and put my hands over my shoulders, and I just want to get it past my head. So my head with this move should still be tucked in, and my chin should be on my chest. So I don't need to push my hands very far. You don't really need to reach. It's just having them just slightly beyond your shoulders and the back of your head, so that it's your hands that touch the floor first. Again, demonstrating that, we're going to bring the knees down, push forwards, and bring the arms back. So here I'm landing on my hands, I've got my whole weight supported on my hands. And up. One more time, knees go forwards, I've got my hands over my shoulders, and back. And then the very last detail is to protect yourself on the descent. So you want your hands across your body, protecting your face from any attack that might come in along the way, and then transition at the last minute to having your hands behind. So I start the resistance, I protect my face. Once I'm down far enough, I change. One more time, down, protect your face, hands back, and up. Okay? And that's the full resistance. Okay, when you've got that move, you could also then start to put in a few transitions. So I'm just going to show a basic transition into the Habja High. And again, you can do this from some of the intermediate positions that I was showing you. So I'll show you two versions, one with a higher resistencia, one with a full resistencia. So from here, bring the knee forwards, come back, this time the interim position with the resistencia. I'm going to turn towards my hand, lift my opposite leg up, come around in the habja high, and finish at the back. And you then bring your feet together, come down, and go straight into the resistencia on the other leg, and down. Sorry, straight into the habja high on the other leg. Down, habja high, down, habja high. If you can do the full resistencia, we can do exactly the same thing. So down, round, give yourself a little bit of hang time as you turn, and habja high. Down, slight push off, up, habja high, and back. And repeat, and it's a very good training movement for getting into and out of the resistencia. One final training movement for those that are very comfortable with the resistencia. One thing I really like to do for a workout is the bananero bananero resistencia. So from here, I'm going to do the bananero, come down, straight into the resistencia. Boom, back. Bananero, boom, and back. And pretty soon, if you repeat that a few times, you'll definitely be feeling it in your thighs and your abs. Okay, well folks, that's all I've got time for today. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Hope you take that away and practice that at home. Any questions, any technical details, let me know. Any feedback on the video, anything you want to see next, let me know. Enjoy. Thank you.